dating is something that happens to the best of us. It's happened to me before. It's probably happened to someone you love, someone you care about. And today I have a story about my very first date on this earth, on this latest iteration of myself. Now, it took me a while to get started. I was about 17 years old at the time, and there's a lot of reasons for that. And, well, actually, there's not a lot of reasons for that, but there's a very good one, and that was that I went to a charter school that had, well, it was a technology charter school, and I think it's gotten better now, but basically, there was 6 girls in my entire grade. 3 of them were devout Muslims. 2 of them were lesbian. The other one was already in a relationship. So when I said I had no options, I'm not exaggerating when I say I have absolutely zero options. Um, my school was very tiny. It was in a strip mall. Um, it, I mean, we didn't have any fancy things like grass or sports teams or uh, really most things. Just picture like the old red brick schoolhouse that your great great grandfather tells you stories about, and then just it's like the Pokemon evolved form of that. That's where I went to school, and so yeah, basically I was not very socialized with the opposite gender. I would say I had more friends with perfect ACT scores than those that have XX chromosomes. So this became quite a problem for me, um, to the point where I started going to parties for school I wasn't part of. I would just kind of sneak in under the guise of, oh, I go here, which is not as cool as it sounds. It doesn't sound very cool anyway, but it's less cool than that, if you can believe that. Um, anyway, so I would go to these various school events in my area, and I kind of had a habit of, well, I couldn't drive at the time because I'm going to blame COVID, as I will blame many things on in the future. I'll blame COVID for not having a driver's license because I had my course that I needed to take, and I was taking that, and then COVID shut everything down. So I didn't ever get a driver's license, and so I would have this challenge. I'd go to a party for a school I didn't go to, and not knowing anyone, my goal was to get a ride home. So I wouldn't have to call my mom and have her drive in the middle of the night to come pick me up. And it worked sometimes, and other times it didn't work. It wasn't really it's not like an alpha male stunt. It was just because I didn't want to call my mom and have her pick me up. But I made some friends that way, which is nice. One of these instances, I was at it was like a dance party at one of these kind of huge schools that was in my area, and the DJ was terrible, like absolutely terrible. He kind of didn't understand what dance music is, which I feel like that would be like DJ school. That's the first thing they teach you, is there's certain music that is designed to be danced to, and others that is not. And so he had this weird tendency to play like one good song, and we'll say a moderately good song, and then proceed to play 4 to 5 undanceable rap tracks, just completely undanceable. I mean, maybe I'm showing my ignorance here, but I feel like rap is just not. You don't want to jump around to rap. It's just not the vibe, and so it was a habit of people would just kind of stand around for 10 minutes until the next good song came on, and the DJ woke up from his coma and saw that he was losing the crowd, as he often did. So I was hanging out by this, trying to get as far away from the speakers as possible. In just kind of the back corner, there's this half wall here, and I was just kind of standing over there, just leaning on this half wall, looking all mysterious. Not really, not really. But whatever it was doing is it worked because this random girl that I had never met before came up and said, "Oh hey, by the way, can I get your phone number?" Which it caught me a little off guard. Maybe I had skipped the dialogue. There was a cutscene that I missed here. Maybe I accidentally jumped right through the end of the conversation here because I wasn't familiar with this meta. She just basically came in and like just immediately asked for my contact information, and I was just kind of blindsided by this. I had very few, zero female friends, and so I was completely unprepared to deal with this. And so, in a sort of strange twist of fate, kind of Ayn Rand dystopian futuristic world where numbers matter more than names, I gave her my phone number before actually even learning her name. But eventually I'll just call her Ashley. Met Ashley, and she was very described. She had like kind of medium length blonde hair. She had like kind of large expressive eyes, and then she had, I think, the strongest jawline I've ever seen on a woman in my life. It was frankly intimidating. It felt like one of those like birds that they have some like, big, bright, colorful, appendage. And I was doing this little dance, and I was dancing. Then all of a sudden, this other bird comes, and it's got a flagellum that's twice as tall as mine, and mine's like kind of like a dull gray, and his is like a vibrant neon orange with a blue stripe in the middle. That's how it felt. So it was off to a great start. I was already being emasculated by this woman, who I knew absolutely nothing about, and I now had her phone number, and now had her name because she gave me her phone number. And so anyway, we were talking, we're enjoying dancing every fifth song because that was the world we live in, where there's no good music. Eventually, it was kind of like the party was slowing down. So we went out, and she said, "Oh, let's throw on a football." So she had brought a football for the purpose of throwing around, apparently. So I started feeling even less like a man compared to this very manly woman. This sounds like I'm bashing her. I'm not. She was actually she was very attractive, but she was very manly. That might reflect weirdly on me. I'm not gay. It was just a very manly woman that I was engaged with at this point, that I was interfacing with. And so there was that anyway, I got home a few days later. She says, "Hey, would you want to go ice skating?" And now I absolutely hate ice skating. So of course I said yes. Which, that was a blunder. I'm gonna be honest. That was a major blunder. However, to my saving grace, the day of the date came by, and the ice skating ring was closed. So she was like, "Oh, let's go to this place called the Fun Center," that was a major improvement. They had roller skating there instead, and they didn't just have roller skating. They had a whole lot of other things. So they have the roller skating. They've got this like jungle gym thing. They've got like trampolines and like bounce houses, and then they've got this like they got laser tag, and they've got this like battle zone. You shoot foam balls at each other. In other words, heaven. And so we went to this place, and so she's like a really good skater, like an incredibly good skater. I am not. I'm not a good skater at all. And so here I am, got the confidence of a friggin' nectarine piloting a spacecraft while I'm, docked with friggin' Buzz Lightyear here doing triple axles and flying through wormholes. So I'm just trying to stay upright. And I mean, the good thing is, because she was trying to hold my hand. while I was just trying to stay alive out there on the floor. You know, they're playing some Bee Gees, and it felt like my life at that time. You know, I was feeling the city shaking. Um, wait, feel the city breaking and everybody shaking, staying alive. Whatever it was, I stayed alive, and by that I mean I actually fell down many times. I think fell down about 3 times, and it only took her down one time. So my KD ratio was kind of abysmal. That was kind of embarrassing. Should have worked a little harder to. I mean, maybe she should have taken one for the team, quite literally. Um, so yeah, that's how we went. Eventually, I got tired of the taste of floor, so we moved on to the bounce houses, and there was these. So there was this, like little there was a few different various attractions. The bounce houses. They had these little there was like a basketball hoop thing where you could like little dunk a little foam ball. They had various cliffs of varying sizes. You could jump into a foam pit, a little foam cubes that 2 years later I would almost have my first kiss in those foam pits. Story for another time. Anyway, moving on. We went to the basketball thing and these two little kids, like probably 10 years old, challenge us. They challenge us to a 2v2. And now, I consider myself a merciful human being. I consider myself, I mean, if I, if I had a house elf, if I had a Dobby, I would give him a sock. You know, I would free him. I don't believe in torture. But these kids, they had that sort of like cocky, like toddler energy going on, and they felt like they couldn't lose. So we took them on, and you know that image that it frequently comes to my mind of Venom dunking a basketball on top of Spider-Man. Well, that was how this went, and yeah, they were humbled. They were definitely sufficiently humbled, which felt really good. That felt really good. After that, we got a little tired of winning, of destroying, of absolutely annihilating these two now very very humble, very docile 10-year-olds. We went to the jungle gym thing, which was actually really cool. It was pictured like the McDonald's play place, but then like just scaled up super high, which was honestly pretty friggin' dope. Like that's, if I was a billionaire, I might want to have my mansion be like just made of that. That would be so sick. Just like all these places to crawl around. Anyway, they probably had some sort of age limit, but age is just a number. So we did it anyway. That's the classic. That's just what you do. And we went up to the top. They had this little like hammock thing up at the top, and we were like laying on this hammock, and we have like this deep conversation up on the top of the friggin' jungle gym. I mean, monkey noises and whatnot going on all around. And every once in a while, we have a little kid who will climb up the ladder and like look at us, kind of go like and then like scamper away. So who knows? They got a glimpse of this is what you have to look forward to, young children. It sucks. Don't. It's not worth it. So yeah, that was the experience. We eventually went home a little bit after that, and I never texted her again. Had a great time. I don't know why. I didn't. There was literally no reason. But yeah, that was it.